Thank you for tuning in to our podcast tonight. I have two very special guests with me tonight, two amazing people, so stay tuned for this amazing episode. All right, welcome to Destination Freedom with Shazzy Yapay. Tonight's topic is the other side of depression. Before we start, we need everyone to share this video on your pages. So share now, take a few minutes and share this video. And tonight I have two special guests. I have Michael Venable and we have Elisabeth Jones with us tonight. Y'all say hey to the people.
Hello.
All right, we're going to give people time to dive in while we getting comfortable and stuff. Y'all ain't never seen Mike serious, so we're about to do what we do. Man. Mike is serious, y'all. You nervous?
No, I'm good.
I am. Y'all say hey to everybody again while we get started.
What's going on, people?
Hello.
We're going to do the preacher prolong for like a few seconds. Give people time to get on. If you're live on YouTube, say hey to us. Share the link. Let's do what we do. All right, we're going to dive in. Y'all ready to get started?
Yeah, you always dive in.
Yeah, I'm ready to dive in.
You be ready.
All right, Elisabeth, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, you're married, whatever your status is, whatever you want to share?
Yes, my name is Elisabeth Jones. I'm married.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, on July 1st. Yeah, I am 23 years old, and I'm just happy to be here.
That's good. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Michael Venable, born and raised right here in the big, humongous city of Martinsville, Virginia. I am the baby boy of many, many children. I am the baby boy. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, the love of my life, Amber Venable. She still holds the record of being the sweetest person that I ever met in my life. I got three beautiful, amazing children, my oldest daughter, and they all teach me something differently. We can actually learn something from our kids. All we have to do is just open up our eyes. I have three beautiful children. My oldest daughter is Kaylin. That's my baby girl. From her, what I learned is to be confident every day. She don't let anyone sway her from anything. She teaches me every day to be confident. My second born is Colin. He teaches me to be unique and that it's okay to be different from everyone else because being like everyone else is kind of boring. So he definitely teaches me to be myself. And then my third born, Cade, that's my baby boy. He is a rough rider. He teaches me how to be brave. Because he can be doing front flips off the couch, and I'm just sitting there just shaking my head. So thank you, Cade, for teaching me how to be brave. Graduated from Martinsville High School, went to Patrick Henry Community College. I love my community. I try to give back to my community as much as I can, especially the time part. And that's about it. And I really thank my best friend for doing this, for helping me. As well as Liz and as well as many others out there to see this other side of depression.
Thank y'all so much. And like these two have a really close spot in my heart. Y'all, I love y'all dearly. And I asked y'all to come on because I seen you on the other side. Mm-hmm. And I see you now.
Right.
And my whole goal for this podcast is to help people be free, healed, and delivered.
Absolutely.
You'll hear me say that time and time again. The destination is freedom. We want to help other people. In no way are we professionals in this.
Right,
We're not doctors. We're speaking from our aspect of what we dealt with, and now we can help other people be free, just like we are. So on that note, Mike, what is your definition of depression?
So my definition of depression, I would have to say, it's like a fish without any water. I remember one time my mom took me to the Children's Medical Center, and I believe I had strep throat or something. But for some odd reason, they were cleaning out the fish tank, and I believe they said it was like bacteria or something in it. But anyway, they were cleaning it out, and you know how they'll scoop the fish out and put it in bag and bag. Well, I sat there and I watched them do that one by one, and then the lady dropped one of the fish on the floor like it wasn't nothing. Wow. And I'm sitting there. I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old, and the fish is just flopping back and forward, just rocking back and forward. And the lady, she didn't seem to be that it was worrying her. She wasn't worried about it. She knew, it would be okay. So she just nonchalantly picked the fish up, put it in the bag, and he was okay. And I just looked at that. I was like, wow. So my definition of depression is it's like a fish without any water. But there's a savior that can pick you up and put you right back where you belong.
That is some good stuff. Yes. Good day. Lizzie, what is your... I call her Lizzie. That was good.
That was good.
What is your definition of depression?
My definition of depression is just feeling so low to where you just don't have any motivation, that you just are sad all day. You don't have any will, sometimes even to live or to do things that would normally make you happy. And yeah, just feeling like the lowest that you could possibly go, to where nothing you do, you feel like will make you feel better.
Wow. Right. Wow. So we're talking about it, and I never acknowledged that I dealt with depression, but when I look back, we were talking before we went live, and the subject of depression was taboo, especially amongst the Black community, I think.
Right.
You never heard people years ago saying, oh, I deal with depression, or I deal with mental illness, when in essence, we were dealing with it in some way, form, or fashion. I remember in my first podcast, I was like, I was in a dark place because of the relationship I was in. I was depressed. And I didn't realize it until I was preparing for this episode. I was like, dang, wow, I was in depression. You understand what I'm saying? I was in a deep, dark place to where it is one of them places where I didn't get to suicide, but I did crazy things. I stopped going to church. Y'all know that's odd. I stopped going to church. I stopped, communicating with people and stuff like that. And that's just not my personality. Right. And now I'm sick and all of that stuff. So, tell me your story, or your dealing with depression, or how you got there, or whatever you want to feel free to share with the people.
Yes. So, my experience with depression, I feel may be more like an extreme case in some people's eyes. When I was 16, I was sexually assaulted, and from there, like you said, I didn't really know that I was depressed, but I just felt like something had been taken from me, which it had been taken. Definitely. And so from then, when I woke up, I just didn't have any fight or any will. Like, I would cry almost all day, every day. Like, I would go to school, have breakdowns, and the thing that was causing me that depression, I had to face it every single day still. And I had to see the person that, did it. It seemed like they were excelling and, doing all these great things. And I was just sad. And I'm like, well, is this my fault? Like, the people that I, trusted to tell, they were kind of like, are you sure that's what happened? Like, and I'm like, yeah. Like, why would I I don't want to feel like this. Right. And so I was just going through that as, even being 16, you're going through, like, puberty changes, like, you're going through high school girls, like, it was a lot of things at one point, and I just wasn't equipped to handle it, I feel like. So I went to counseling while I was in high school. It was helpful. I had, moments where I felt like things were getting better, but something would happen to trigger me again. I went to college. I'm like, this is a new beginning. Like, things are looking up. And even still there, like, I was looking for happiness like in all the wrong places. And of course I prayed like God has always been a number one thing. Like if it wasn't for God, I would not be here today.
Right.
And so in college, my second semester, I had started seeing a counselor again, and they prescribed me medication, like a mood kind of relaxer. And so in 2017, around the beginning, probably like February or March, there was this one night, and I was like, it's not getting better. Like, I can't do this. And I remember I had my medications, and I just kept taking like pill after pill after pill until I was laying in bed, and I just felt like woozy, like I was gonna pass out, but I didn't. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like this, I don't want to die. I just want the pain to stop.
Right.
And so I told my mom, and if you know Angela, you know her pull-up game is very strong. And so she came. I was out of school for like a week, and from there, I feel like I made the decision that I wanted to feel better.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I can't continue to feel this way. Life is not going to be perfect all the time, but I have to find something or take the initiative to, when things do happen that make me sad or may make me think about that situation, I got to keep going. And so from then I still continue, seeking counseling and all of that. And, people say that when you're depressed, like you can't just pray it away. And I get that. However, it's a factor. Like, it's very important that you have God, because without chasing after him and going to church and having those mentors and things like that, even when I wasn't in counseling, I had mentors like you. I had mentors at school to walk with me during that. And I think that was really important in my start to, get better. And then as the days started going by, I was like, wow, like, I'm happy. And it's crazy to think that I was in that spot, and I don't take it for granted at all how I feel now, because I know where I came from, and it's a process.
Right.
So, yes.
And that's awesome, man.
That is good.
Wow.
That is good.
I remember you and I were here. You were getting ready for your bridal shower. And that's when I said, I'm going to do the podcast. You were one of the first people to know that I had planned on it.
Yes.
And you made a statement to me. You said that you got to want to be better. See, a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people like sympathy. A lot of people like the attention that they get. So now they depend on that. They rely on, that sympathy. They rely on that attention.
Yeah.
But you said, I want it to be better.
Yes.
And that plays a factor along with prayer. Like God first, we couldn't do anything that we're doing without God.
Absolutely.
God first with his help. But a lot of times growing up in church, they say, pray about it, 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 pray about it. But faith without works is dead. And I feel like God didn't give us therapists and counselors just for us to have them for no reason. He didn't give people that skill for us to not use it. Like the church or people might frown on therapy.
Or wouldn't bless them with the knowledge.
He wouldn't bless them with the knowledge, but God gave it to them for us to to have that. But I thank God for that. But I thank God for that too. Like, I want it to be better.
Right.
That was like, I was like, okay, she's the one. You know what I mean? Like, she's the one, because that's talking from a place of healing.
Yeah.
That's not talking from a place of I'm still,
Right.
I'm still bound. I'm still depressed. I'm still sad. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, this is good. Mike, talk to us, because people see you as a comedian.
Yeah.
And you are my best friend. And we talk and text, and you told me one time, you said, Shasta, people see me joking and clowning and laughing, but they don't see the sadness. They don't see, how I really feel. So just talk to us. Give us that other side of ML Venable. That, people that really don't know, but your, how you dealt with depression or what your situation was.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your story.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And a key word but she already said it though, counseling. It's okay to get counseling, even being a member of the church. But my story, So my story is personal, but it's not like Liz's was. Hers affected her personally. Mine is two instances where it dealt with my son and then my father. So everybody out there, I'm pretty sure, already knows Colin's story. So I'm not gonna explain, the entire story. But my son was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2 years old. Just all of a sudden one day, his voice just left, and it never came back. And as a parent, man, that is a hard pill to swallow. To listen to your baby talk every single day, and then one day just poof, just nothing, and that hurt me to my core. It took me about a good year and a half to actually accept him having autism. We didn't have any issues being pregnant. We didn't have any issues the day he was born. Like I said, he was a normal child up until, just one day, he just left. So, we did everything that we could for him, of course. Amber definitely took that baton and ran with it. While I was still, down, depressed, I didn't want to do nothing. I was just like, how could God do this to me? I always prayed for a son. We actually planned this child. Kaylin was our firstborn. We had her in high school, so she wasn't playing, but I definitely wanted my son. And, when speaking from the male perspective, when you have a son, the doctor say you have a son, the first thing you think of is football, basketball, sports, period.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm about to have a son. He about to just be awesome. He's going to excel. And then, we get that news that, that he may not be able to speak again. But, the devil's a lie for that part.
Amen.
But so as years has gone on, we've seen progression with Colin. So that's that part of the depression. That's the first time that I ever been depressed in my life. Because like most black people, and I hope it's okay that I say that.
That's fine.
Most black people, we don't accept depression. I believe you just said that a few minutes ago. Especially from black men, we always taught to be strong. You're supposed to overcome. You don't supposed to allow anything to bother you or worry you. You're supposed to man up and just deal with it.
Right.
But when it comes to your child, and a father and his child, that's a different kind of love. Everybody talks about mothers, but there's some good fathers out there as well that loves their kids. So that was the first time I ever was depressed in my life, dealing with Colin. And then the second one was my father. Just once, I remember me and Amber had bought a car. Like, we buy a car every year, it seemed like. And we took it to my parents' house to show them, our new car. And, my dad, I called him ahead of time. I said, Dad, I'm about to, drive up. I want you to come outside and look at this new car I just bought. He was like, okay. So he came out, and he just looked so slim, just very slim. He's always been a big man. Mm-hmm. So, jokingly, I said, are you losing weight? What's going on? He's like, oh, I'm okay. That's the man part. You're never supposed to let anything get to you. But, come to find out, he had cancer. And that was rough. That was really rough for me. I don't think that I said it a lot publicly. I think to you and Ken, I did. But to a lot of people, I didn't. Amber, of course, I did. But that really affected me. Yes, he was old. Yes, he had cancer, but that really affected me.
It was your father.
My father, right? Yeah,
father,
exactly.
So, yeah.
And that was a really bad. I was really in a bad place. I mean, like, I never want to go to church again. I don't want to do this. Like you said, I don't even want to get off the couch. I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to go to work. I just don't want to do nothing. But on the flip side, me being a father, me being a husband, I still had to provide, still had to pay the bills, still had to do this. So I'm having all of this thoughts going in my mind about my father. And then my mother, she's not, 100% where she needs to be. So she's sick, and my father's sick, and then Kylan has autism, and then I'm trying to. I was working at Faneuil at that time, so I was in leadership, trying to do that, trying to work, trying to pay bills, and then I believe I had a second job at that time. I was cleaning banks. I'm like, Lord, I'm about to tap out. You know, this is a bit much.
Yeah.
And so I just remember being in the shower one day and just saying, Lord, where are you? You know, Lord, you told us that you had the whole world in your hands. Right now, I feel like I'm nothing. Wow. And I don't think that I would have been so upset had it been just one thing. You know what I'm saying?
One thing after the other. Like, like, can I get a break?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember being in the shower, and I was like, Lord, you said you had the whole world in your hand, and I'm out here all by myself, it seemed like. I'm trying to deal with my mom. I'm trying to deal with a dying father. I'm trying to deal with Colin and taking him to OT and speech therapy along with Amber, because she does too. And then still trying to get up, wash my face, brush my teeth, and get ready for work and deal with them adults that's getting on my nerves.
Right.
And it just became a bit much. So my father ended up passing away in 2019. But then, and you may or may not remember, but I'm pretty sure you do. You remember me texting you, asking you, why was Jesus asleep on the boat? You remember that? Remember that?
I do.
So I text you that, and I text Ron Dillard that, and I text Ken Moyer that. So y'all all gave me different reasons, but it all came together.
Okay.
So I took what y'all said, and I was so low. I was so low that low looked up to me. You know, that's how low I was.
Yeah.
So taking what y'all had told me, you know, the boat is rocking. You know, those people are scared. Mm-hmm. Like, where you at, Savior? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when you gonna come? Mm-hmm. We out here struggling for our life, and you ain't nowhere to be found. But then G.E. Patterson, I was randomly looking at one of his sermons, and he said that sometimes God wants things documented before he eliminates it. He wants it to be certified by all the doctors, 2 or 3 lab technicians, and then you have the boldness to go and tell the whole world that your son can't talk. Now he's saying, give it to me, you know? Mm-hmm. Now it's time for me to bring him out of this. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'll never get my father back, but 2 days before he died, which he died on a Tuesday, I told him on that Sunday, I said, it's okay. You can go. I made my peace with my father. And at that time, that was that morning. And then I went to church. And I'm pretty sure some people from Reach Out will remember. Got to church, went directly to the altar. I ain't speak to nobody. I ain't say, hey. I put my kids in the pew, and I went directly to the altar. And I'm saying something lifted off of me that Sunday.
You telling me
yes,
that. I remember you telling me that.
That was I had never experienced anything like that in my life. Wow. Yeah, it was like the weight literally lifted off of me. Wow. I mean, I stopped the whole service.
Wow.
Hey,
the dancers didn't get to dance. Hey. I mean, it's something that I will never forget. Wow. So that I know we pressed for time, but okay. So that's my experience with depression, and those are the only 2 times that I have ever been that low that I would think that is depression. Yeah.
Wow.
I know that was a lot.
No, but that was good. Because I'm thinking about, we friends, we talk every day.
Every single day.
If we don't talk every day, I got
something
a problem.
Wrong.
Right, something's wrong. Right. But you still found a way to crack a joke.
Right.
Or you still found a way to try to make us laugh through your pain.
Right.
And so, in a way, you were masking your pain to make other people feel good. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Definitely. And it takes a really bold person full of love and full of, you're a certified comedian anyway, and like certified, but it takes you're stronger than what you think you are.
Yeah.
You're stronger than what you think you are, even in the midst of everything that you were going through.
Right.
So now I'm looking at y'all too. I remember Lizzie coming to the church, and I was working at the church, and she was like, I want to do a meeting, like a counseling session. And this poor little lad came walking in. I was like, Lord, what do I tell this baby?
Yeah.
Because I don't really, if you talk to me, you say you need something, the first thing I do is pray.
Pray, yeah.
The first thing I do is say, God, I need your help. I need wisdom in what to say, because I don't want to, in my flesh, say something that could cause more harm. You know what I'm saying? And I remember you talking to me. I'm like, wow, this baby is going through. I done went into some deep intercession. And then on the flip side, us being friends, it's been many a days where I'm like, Lord, go touch Mike's mind, or Lord, grant him your peace that passeth all understanding. Like, give them peace in the middle of their storm. And now we're here today.
Right. Yes. Relieved.
Yes.
Like healed. Like, God, thank you.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, just to see the weight lifted off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we say a lot of things in church, but this means something to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It means something to sit here and
I can tell.
And see y'all healed.
Yes.
To see you really like smiling genuinely. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to fake a smile.
Right.
It's real,
So
you know
true.
what I mean? And so y'all just shared so much with everybody. And how do you feel now? I know you're already free, but how do you feel publicly talking about it? Either one of y'all go. It doesn't matter.
I'll go. So, like I told you before, like when we were talking before, I was like that I was really nervous because I know that God wanted me to tell my story at some point. I just didn't know when it was going to be. Wow. And so whenever you asked me to do the podcast, it was no question. Wow. I was like, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then as I've been sitting with myself like this past week, I'm like, Lord, like, I just want to know the right things to say. Like, I don't want any misinterpretations to be had. Like, I just want to tell my story. And I feel like relieved. Like, I finally, like, said it. And I don't have to hold that anymore. And hopefully I can help somebody else that might have had to deal with the same thing that I did. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so on my end, I'm relieved, even though the devil did try to come up to me this week. Lord, it's been a long, long week.
So before you answer my question, I texted both of y'all Monday.
Yes,
what did I say?
You
I
did.
told them,
you said it.
I told them, I said, y'all pray this week because the enemy is going to attack you because you're doing something that's going to help a whole lot of people.
Right.
Pray, cover yourself in prayer because he is going to attack you.
Yes.
I got attacked. I was sitting there like, oh, why am I crying?
Right.
You know, like, why am I
like,
feeling all of these different emotions? Because once you put it out there that I'm free, I dumped a whole lot of y'all in the past month.
Right.
And
yeah,
now I felt every emotion that I've overcome. You understand what I'm saying? I felt the rejection. I felt the abandonment. I felt the hurt. You know, I felt all of that. So then I'm like, I pray they okay. And then Mike was like, I'm having y'all, let me tell y'all.
From the hospital.
Mike texted me from the hospital with his mom.
Right.
But
Lord.
then this nut says to me, don't worry, I'm still on the other side of the He said, don't worry. I'm still on the other side. I'm okay, sister. I'm fine. I'm still on the other side.
I can still do the show.
I'm still good, but it's just a blessing, like, even in the attacks. You haven't told me about any attacks. And no, let me be honest with you. I'm going to be transparent. Monday or Tuesday? When did you call me? Monday or Tuesday? I didn't even tell you.
I don't even know, but something was just like, I was just laying in bed, and I was like, call Shasta. I was on the phone with Jamar. I said, I got to call Shasta. I got to go. And I called. I said, are you all right? And she was like, how did you know? And I was like, yeah.
So sometimes the encourager needs to be encouraged.
Yeah, and definitely.
I'm sitting in this seat, but I'm still human.
Yeah.
I'm a minister. I'm still human. I still have human emotions. So when you called, I'm like, how does she know? Okay. This is what you're doing right now? Are you telling me that even though I'm initiating this thing that I can still be helped? You know what I'm saying? I still need people, and it doesn't have to be, you know, like an older person, or it doesn't have to be just this.
Exactly.
It can come from the healed person.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. I was like, look at the healed person calling me,
Right.
asking me, am I okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, y'all, I was down that night. That night, I was down. Like, my spirit was low. And you called, and I was about, I'm going to lie and be like, yeah, I'm good.
That's me.
Let's talk about the wedding. You know, she just got married, y'all. So I'm like, let's talk about where's Jamar?
I was like,
That's me for real. That's how I am.
For real, where's Jamar? Because, yeah.
You try to flip it on
I
something else.
tried to flip it on something else, and she was like, no, this ain't working.
Where's Jamar? He at work, so are you okay?
Are you okay? Like, we coming back to the main thing, but.
And it's crazy how she did that to you, and you always do that to me.
I do.
And I be like, yeah, so what's going on?
Yeah.
You doing all right at work today? You know,
Yeah.
She's like, no, Mike, what's going on?
What's going on? Because
Yeah.
that's just how we flow, man. And when your heart's connected, both spiritually and like, we love each other.
Yeah.
So you feel that.
Right.
You live an hour away, but you still felt it because we're connected in spirit. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you answer.
I probably would have felt it if I went at the hospital.
Yeah. No, see, y'all Mike went through it this week.
Yeah, I did. But to answer your question, just relieved. And then to her point, by saying, you know, she can go out in public, she don't have to fake it or anything like that. It's genuine, and that's a really good feeling. That's a really good feeling.
Really good. So we're speaking from healed. What are some steps that you took to overcome that you can help? I know you mentioned counseling, but what are some steps? And again, either one can chime in. What's some steps that you actually took to overcome your depression? Like, what did you do that maybe that you can tell somebody else that will help them?
Well, yeah, like you said, the counseling. I think counseling is very important, especially from somebody that doesn't know you, because you can really like
so true.
Dive in and tell them like this person did this and this and this and this, and they don't have a biased opinion.
Man, that's good.
Yes,
That's a really good
also,
reason.
Also, like going to church, like let me tell you, I did not miss a Sunday. Like because I knew. I was born and raised in the church. Like my family is preachers, so I knew where my help needed to come from. So I was praying. I was diligently seeking God in church, and then something more specific that I did, I unplugged from social media because social media can be really toxic when you start comparing and like, oh, it should be this and this and this. So I just took a step back and I was like, I need to focus on me. And that's another thing. Sometimes you do have to put yourself first in that state of depression so that you can be better, you know, to be able to give yourself to other people. So those are like specific things that I did to help myself get to the other side.
Right. That's good. So mine is a little boring. So so what I did honestly, and I don't want to say I did, the counseling never came across my mind. I was probably more afraid that I couldn't afford it because you know, I didn't know if my insurance would carry it or anything like that. So mine was legit pray, even though I was mad at God. I'll say that publicly. I was mad at God. Asked him, you know, like I said a few minutes ago, it would be different if it was just one thing, but come on now, I'm going through too much. So what I did was I just legit prayed every single day, and then I reached out to Shasta. I reached out to Ken Warrior, you know, just trying to boost my morale a little bit, because Ken and Shasta, they are a part of the church, but they can also provide information on a personal level as well. So just reaching out, asking for help. So those were the steps that I took. But prayer was definitely number one.
Yeah.
Y'all helping me today, for real.
Well, hopefully we helping others too.
Yeah, hope we helping y'all. Auntie Margaret said she love you.
I love you too, Aunt Margaret.
Your husband is here with us. So
she got a good man.
She
y'all.
got a good husband,
man.
y'all. Let me tell y'all, they've been married for 2 weeks and a day. I mean, 2 weeks and 2 days, something like that. Something like that. But
I love them, man.
Did y'all get together during your?
So we got together probably on my other side, but I honestly feel like when we first got together, like, that was the happiest I've ever been. Like, I was like,
I can tell.
yeah, like, I was waking up smiling, walking to class, just cheesing for no reason.
Wow.
I got a test today, but I'm happy.
Right,
like,
right.
So I think, but he got to see it when, you know, we had our ups and downs, like, in the beginning, and I think he got to see, like, you know, oh, you know, she's going through something, but and at first I don't think he knew how to deal with it, but now, like, I feel like he knows me like the back of it. Like, he knows, like, oh, she not feeling it today.
Yeah.
Like, so I think this is, when you say, like, you pray for a partner, like, he's my answered prayer.
Watch out now. I can tell.
Y'all can't see him. For real.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a strain or anything as far as relationship wise, because sometimes I guess when you're going through stuff, especially when you haven't really talked about it, sometimes that can put a lot of pressure on the relationship, because again, that smile that you're putting on, sometimes it's not real. Yes,
and I definitely think it had a moment where we broke up in the beginning because what I was dealing with, sometimes when you're depressed, you misplace your emotions. And I think that's what I was doing with him, like, whether it be with my family. Like, I was sad, and the people that were closest to me, they trying to help me, but I'm with them every day. So I'm like, you don't understand, or you're doing this, this, and this. And I'm, you know, trying to put something on them, and they're like, wait a minute. What? But they don't know everything that's going on internally. Right. So I think that's what played into that. But then once we realized, like, we better, like, we know good apart. And so from then, so from then we kind of just really did the work. Like, this is an adult relationship. Like, it's not for play. Like, we had to do the work to get to where we are now.
Come on, Lizzie. Help us out. And how is it, like, you and Amber been together forever?
Forever, yeah.
So how was it, like, with you guys? You don't have to go too deep as far as marriage, but how was it dealing with you or dealing with her in that time?
Right. So Amber is the type, she want to know everything about me. When did I tie my shoe? When did I put, the pants on? She want to know everything. I love her to death, though. But, and I don't think I've never told her this, but she going to hear it tonight. But it ain't nothing bad, though. But as a man, you don't want to tell your wife, you don't want to tell your girlfriend all the issues that you're going, because they're supposed, ain't that right? Because they supposed to be telling us all their issues. We're supposed to take care of all of their problems. So as a man, especially a black man, we don't want to tell y'all that, because we want to take care of y'all. We don't want to put y'all in a predicament where we feel like, or you feel like, that you have to take care of us. I don't want to say we're taught, but as a man, and I didn't say it I didn't say it that 30 times, but for real, a man, we're supposed to hold it all together in here and then take on our family's issues as well as our own. So with Amber, I love her to death, but I just feel that if I tell her everything that's going on, I just feel like, you can't take care of me like I can take care of you, which she can definitely take care of me, but I don't feel that it's necessary that I put that all on her.
That pressure on her.
Right. When it's my job to take all the pressure off of her and the kids.
I got you.
That's we worry. We start worrying.
Yes, y'all.
If
Lord,
we know everything.
Look at your mom.
Amber said 50-50, she got your back.
I know.
She got your back.
I know.
I love it. James Cousins is on here talking. So you saying from a man's point of view, and I want to put this plug in there. My podcast is not just for women.
Right.
It's for men and
Well, I
women.
tune in every week.
It's some men out there that needs healing.
Yes.
And like James is talking about, he said it, you said it, that you were mad at God. How many people are honest enough to say, I was mad at God?
I told him. I said, God, I'm mad at you.
Yeah. I mean, that's real.
For real.
That's real. Listen,
I know.
Listen, this is small, but it's kind of along the lines. Friday, I had a lot to do, and I was waiting on that UPS man that I didn't smile at hard enough. It was small, but to what you just said,
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm looking at the time. I got things planned,
That
and this
is
dude is
me.
not showing up.
That's me.
When I need the day before they were there at 9:30. It's 1:30, and I'm like, really, God? I'm like, I was like you. I'm being transparent with y'all. I was like, God, now you got everything in control. You got everything in control. I was like, look like you could send this man here a little bit earlier so I can go do what I need to do. I was like, come on, God. I was like, you playing. I was like, this is what I need you to do. I said, in the next 20 minutes, I need this man to be ringing this doorbell so I can be where I need to be on time. And I was like, thanks, God. I appreciate it. But I really did say, God, you got this. This is small.
Right.
Like, you got everything in your hands.
Right.
Nothing is too hard for you.
Right.
Come on. I just needed him to be here an hour ago. Like, come on. Now I'm here getting impatient now. And when I get impatient, I start doing stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
laying everybody out.
I started laying everybody. I'm short now. I was short with people that they ain't done nothing to me, like you said.
Nope.
Not right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. True. Y'all get that short text. You know, I'm aggravated.
I know.
So I'm like, God, come on.
Yep.
I'm telling y'all, this was at 1:37. At 2:02, the man was ringing the
Look at
doorbell.
God.
And I was like, okay, God, now that you did that, I was like, I need a fat check.
Yeah.
I'm being funny, but I'm being serious about, sometimes we be mad at God. And as Christians, I think that we're taught not to question God.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Don't question God. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? If God is my father, he is my friend. He calls me friend.
Thank you.
Jesus is my savior. Then I talk to my friends and ask y'all questions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I talk to, you talk to your parents and ask them questions respectfully.
Right.
Why can't we have that conversation with God as his children?
Yeah.
We are his children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, God is not like, oh, you can't ask me nothing. No, he created us in his image.
Exactly.
We are his. We are his sons and daughters. We can ask him questions. I'm asking God, like, God, why, and I'll talk about Gail a whole lot because Gail played a pivotal role in my freedom. I give God all the glory, but he gave me her. She told me one time I was going through, y'all, waiting on a mate. And I think it was a little depression in there too. I'm going to tie it all together. I think it was a little depression because it's like everybody is getting theirs, but I'm still waiting on mine.
You already know,
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is getting their husband, they're getting, everybody's getting married and getting booed up, going out and stuff like that. And that one season in my life, that depressed me. That had me really bogged down. And she was like, go take you a bath. Yeah. Put you some music on, light you a candle, sit in there and spend some time with God.
Right.
And I did it. And I cried. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I know this is y'all's time, but I'm going to talk.
It's your show.
It's my show, but my grandmother raised me. And when she died, I don't think to this day I've ever really grieved. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because before she died, I called her every day. I called her every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And when she found out that she had the cancer on her colon, they decided not to tell me. They decided not to tell me. It was 2 weeks later. Oh, well, my mom was like, well, mama went to the hospital, to the doctor, and they found this. She got to have a surgery next week. And so, but in that 2 weeks, I'm calling grandma. And one day she told me, she said, one day you got to stop calling so much. Grandma was funny. She was the most loving person, but she was like, boom. She said, I ain't going to always be here for you to talk to. And I was like, yeah, Grandma, you've been saying that. At this point, I'm like 30, 31. I said, Grandma, you've been saying that for 30-some years. I've been hearing that you ain't going nowhere. You probably going to outlive us. This is what I told her. And she was like, no, Shasta, listen. I'm not going to always be here for you to call. Yeah. And I was like, it clicked. I didn't call her for like 2 days, and that never happens. And I called her back, and I was like, okay, Grandma, I get it. I get what you're telling me. So then when they said she had the cancer, everything was quick. Mind you, my grandma was like the strongest person I know. So when I talk to you, you don't know this about me. When I talk to you, it's not out of inexperience. Like you going through with your mom. My grandma had triple bypass, 2 open heart surgeries. They put the pacemaker in, knee surgery. They did all of that. But this time was different. Yeah. So that Monday, I was in New York then, and she was like, I'm going to the hospital Tuesday. You better get here. Yeah. That's how she talked. You better get here. So we drove, my brothers and I, my mother, we drove, and we got there at 4 o'clock in the morning. She's standing there like, hey, and I'm like, Grandma, you know, she's waiting on us, and I'm going to the surgery, but they told me like the day before, the grandma was like, you know, I don't want no colonoscopy bag. I don't want don't resuscitate me. You know, this is where I want to be buried. And I'm like, don't tell me stuff like this about my grandma.
Yeah.
You know, that's my baby.
Right.
So she goes into the surgery, and she wakes up with the colonoscopy bag on. And she points that finger like, I told you that's not what I want. I said, Grandma, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, that's what the doctors did that. She was like, I told you. Yeah. Like she couldn't really talk, but she was like, I told you that's what I didn't want. So we going through this whole process, and she ended up dying that Saturday, and I'm sitting there like, my grandma would want me to be strong, and I'm not trying not to cry. I'm just gonna be real. Yeah. She was like, she wanted me to be strong. She didn't want me to be sad. She didn't want me to fall apart, because she's been there from the day I was born to the day she died. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can't be weak. I can't cry because my grandma, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. I know where she going. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, but I never grieved it. I think I cried, but I never grieved losing the woman that raised me. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that took more of a toll on me than I even realized. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because you really don't have time to grieve.
You don't have time to grieve. You don't. Like you just keep going. Like I had to go back to work, and and then my life fell apart. Like my job.
You have the death. You have the funeral. You have the bills after the funeral. Then you got to go back to work. Then
you got to go back to work. So then I ended up, y'all, for real. I'm in New York. Then I ended up being so behind that I got an eviction notice. So before that, I was a very prideful person, and my grandma was like, "Your pride gonna kill you," you know. And I'm like, "I'll be all right. You raised me tough, right? I can, you know, I'll make it." But I got to the point to where I was either I'm gonna go to work and save and try to get some money and do something. I work 45 minutes away. Either I'm going to go to work and worry about how I'm going to get back because I didn't have gas money, or I'm going to sit at home, call out sick, and, you know, sit home, eat a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't tell nobody. Yeah. So I remember like, okay, I can't go to work today, but I get paid Thursday. You know, you understand? So I'm calling out, hey, I'm sick. I got a headache. I got a migraine. No, lying. Sitting at home broke. Right. My mother was, you know, at home, not knowing what was going on with me. And next thing you know, I'm like, okay, I got to do something because I'm about to get evicted. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when I interviewed over the phone and got the job back in Greensboro. The sheriff came to my house the Friday before I was set to leave that Monday with the eviction notice. And I called the lawyer and I was like, well, what do I do? He said, well, you're going to be out. He was like, you're going to be out of there by the time they would put your
I'm leaving
out.
anyway.
I'm leaving anyway, but I never had been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like at that point, too, I was depressed. I was like really down. So now my job was acting crazy. My grandma had died.
And it's like it's building
up. And now it's like building up. And now I'm moving, relocating, sleeping in an empty apartment on an air mattress. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Right. Like, not telling anybody any of this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm just now freeing myself with that. Now, I've talked about it, not publicly, but I've talked about it. But, like, now it's like, here I am, 13 years later, and grandma, you know, okay, I accept it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm still strong, but it's a different type. Right, James? It's a different type of hurt when you lose a grandparent. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 dads. Lost both of my fathers. You understand what I'm saying? And that's my next podcast. Y'all tune in on the 31st. I'm going to talk about I got daddy issues. Oh, wow. So I won't dive deep into that. Right. But, you know, my father died in 2016. The one that raised me, my daddy, he died. And I was like, you know. Yeah. You get to a point where you just tired of death. And then in 2018, I believe, my mother had like a little small thing. you know, a little scared that could have been cancerous, but it wasn't. Thank God for that. But I'm like, I can't lose my mommy.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I ain't ready for this.
I know.
You know, like this. That's my mommy. That's my heart. That's my baby.
Mamas are different.
That's my world.
Mamas
She
are different.
like the love I have for her now, as opposed to when I was younger. Y'all, you have a great relationship with your mom. You have a great relationship with your mom. We didn't always have that.
Right.
So all of that deep dark stuff I was dealing with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like my mom, I love my mother. Like that's my girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love her. Like every part of me loves my mother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't, you know, and it was funny because I was broke then. I couldn't even go to be with her in her
surgery.
Yeah. I don't have the money to get there. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you low and like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that'll bring about depression.
That'll bring about depression too.
Right.
And you know,
trying to be there for your mom and can't.
Trying to be there. So like this is so like liberating to like actually talk about it. I don't even know how to grieve. You know, I don't know. You can grieve different things. You can grieve the loss of your son's voice. You grieve the loss of your womanhood, your femininity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all grieved in some way, form, or fashion, but. I'm
glad you said that because grieving ain't always death.
It ain't always death.
Right.
It ain't always death. It's death of a
process.
Relationship. Yeah. It's it's death of, you know, jobs or separations, you know, things like that.
Exactly.
Grieving comes in so many different ways.
So true.
But I want to talk about this now. I love you too, Mommy. I want to talk about this now because we need it. Like you said, Black people don't talk about stuff this. We don't. Like, and we are some prideful people.
We are, you know I am.
We are some prideful people. Like, like you don't need nobody.
Yeah.
You know, we all strong. Like you said it from a male point of view. I got to be strong. James Cousins, he's on here. He's like, you got to be strong for everybody.
Right. You do.
And so now you got a bunch of people dealing with depression. A bunch of people dealing with dark places.
Right.
But I will say this, my relationship with God.
There you go. That's it.
I tell you, I talk a whole lot, but I got to give him his credit.
Yeah.
Because when I did move back to New York, my relationship with him was strengthened. You understand what I'm saying? I was raised in church, and I was that person that you would hear about in church that lived off of grandma's praise or grandma's prayers or mommy's, you know, mama's testimony, daddy's prayers. I was that person always relying on other people's strength. But when I moved back to New York, my people didn't go to church. So now I had to find me a church and now have the pastor taught relationship. That was his main topic. Right. He taught relationship, and I'm like, I never heard this before. But it was for me. It was a whole lot going on at the church, apparently, but I missed all of that because I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, relationship. So my relationship with God strengthened. Yeah. And that's what he's getting me through every situation. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
I do.
We got to give God his credit. Like, I don't know if why people wouldn't believe in him. And I don't like the emotional side of church where they say run 7 times. Well, sometimes God gives you instructions, but in 7 days, or the emotional thing to make people feel good. I'm not the type of preacher. I'm not the type of preacher that want to make you feel good. I'm the type of preacher that want to see you healed. I want to see souls saved. I want to see burdens lifted. You understand what I'm saying? So that I'll put myself on Front Street to help other people get there. And when I tell you God got me through all of that, God got you through everything that you went through. He got you through it. He's still with you. He's still with us, carrying us through. His word, even if it's just the race is not given to the swift. Mike sent me that, nor to the strong. But he didn't give you that for no reason. He gave you that to keep you as you go along the way. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that riseth up against you, God will condemn. Absolutely. That he didn't give us that for no reason. He gave it to us to sustain us and to keep us. And that's how God does. You understand what I'm saying? So if we take that word literally, you understand what I'm saying? Like take that word and apply it to our lives. That's how you get your healing too. Yes, God first. That's how you get your healing. Like
God first.
when you get by yourself and nobody else is there. When your husband is not there, when your wife's not there, your children are not there, when Nene's not here, and I got to sit and say, okay, God, it's me and you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yep.
That's when I'm like, okay, now some healing can take place. You know, we processing, but we fake it so much.
Man, who you telling?
You understand what I'm saying? I struggle, y'all. And
I done mastered it.
Huh?
I have mastered faking
it. Like I'm not throwing off on anybody, y'all. I'm a praiser to my heart. But when the music stops, when the organ stops playing, after we done ran all we could and sweated our hair out, what's gonna keep me?
Right.
So true. So true.
What's gonna keep us? When that's all said and done, it feels good doing it
in the moment.
It does.
Yeah.
in the moment. But what's gonna keep us after all of that is done?
When you finish doing all of that, you also have to have a renewed mind too.
Come on.
Yes.
You have to have a renewed mind.
Come on.
You have to leave. We always say, Lord, don't let me leave here the way I came. I say that every Sunday. Don't let me leave the way I came. But it's a mind thing. You have to be honest and true to yourself.
You do.
You have to be serious.
You have
Yes,
to be serious.
for real. Like you have to be for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the relationship with God, the church side of it, man, I love it. At the same time, help me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When I leave on Sundays, I don't want to leave feeling like, all right, we did it again.
Yeah, like it was a show.
No, like,
Yeah.
that's just a nice
Yeah.
way of saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a good time.
Our weekly come together.
Our weekly come together, and then now depression hits
Again.
again.
As soon as you get home.
Soon as you get home,
Yep.
what you gonna do? Dance? No, seriously.
Seriously, yeah.
Seriously, like,
No, you're not.
are you when you was going through when they told you about your son? Did you start bucking?
No, absolutely.
No, I'm like
not.
the real stories. Like,
Right.
after your situation happened, did you just go into a Holy Ghost fit?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it.
That's the last thing I was probably
That's the last thing
Yeah.
you thinking about. Now you like, God, help me.
Yep. And I try to tell all my friends, get to know God for yourself.
You have to.
Come on.
Don't get to know God because of your pastor, the church you go to. Get to know God for yourself.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
to your point about praying and stuff, I don't go to the throne saying, "Oh, most holy wise God."
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Me, and I'm for real. I be like in the shop, I be like, Lord, now look. This happened this week. You got to bring me out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, dang, did I pray today? But I'm like, I've literally been talking to God all day.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're just talking. Like, it's not,
In
oh,
patches.
Heavenly Father, like every time. Like,
Right.
we've been talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my friend. Like, I
Yep.
actually talk to him like, God, did you see
Exactly.
what they just did? Like,
Exactly.
you know,
I
we
take-
just be talking.
Have a conversation,
Yeah.
man.
Right,
Like,
I take it as being on FaceTime. Like, okay, so I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is talk to God. Okay, now I got to get the kids ready. So I'm pausing. But when I finish getting the kids ready, okay, God, so what we gonna do about this? And then I'm in
Yeah.
the car. Bye, I love y'all. So now, Lord, what we gonna do about this? When
It's an ongoing
right?
conversation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's in
It's an ongoing-
patches.
it ain't-
It's in
All
patches.
day.
It's
Yeah.
an ongoing. Okay, God, now. All
Where
right,
did I
now.
leave off at?
Yeah, where I leave off at?
As
But
I
you
was saying
know,
before.
look, like,
Right.
you know, God.
Right. My favorite thing is, Lord, you know my heart.
You know my heart.
Yeah, like, I don't know how to say it, but you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And he do know your heart.
And
Yeah.
he's so dope. Like God is my dude.
Absolutely.
That's how I talk about him. Like,
Absolutely.
you my guy. You know, you my guy. Like, you're here with us right now. He's right here with us right now,
Absolutely.
listening. Like, I feel like he's lifting weights off of us now as
Absolutely.
we're talking.
Absolutely.
Because we're overcome by the blood of the
Absolutely.
Lamb and the word of our testimony. That's the word.
I feel it.
So the more we talk, the more freeing. And I'm looking at some of the comments, like people, like my cousin Shay, she said, I never thought that I was depressed, or I dealt with depression until I
That's
listened
it.
to
That's
until I
same
listened.
thing you
Same
said.
thing I said, Shay. I never thought that I dealt with depression until you start talking about it,
Like,
and,
oh, yeah.
and you start being free about it.
Dang, I was actually
was
depressed.
I
actually
felt like
depressed.
that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
maybe
that
that's
too.
what it was.
Yeah, I never got to the suicide. I
Right.
did stupid stuff like
Oh God.
I'm allergic to bananas. I can't eat bananas.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
Me too. See, I can't eat bananas. So one time I was like trying to get attention, and I ate 2 bananas.
Oh
Killed it.
no.
They were so good because I like them, but I can't eat them.
Just like that watermelon.
Just like that watermelon. So I ate it, and I was like, I'm gonna eat and get sick, so they won't leave me.
Yeah.
So they left. So now I'm sitting there sick and depressed.
Yeah.
And CVS closed. Ain't no Benadryl.
Ain't no Benadryl. I'm like, so what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What do you do now? I never thought like I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
But I wanted that.
Now I can
attention
say
so
that
bad.
I've never gotten to that point either.
Yeah.
I have not gotten to that
And
point.
Gosh, what do you say to somebody that's like thinking that? You
Mm-hmm.
can't say, Father God, in the name of Jesus,
Right.
oh most
That's-
holy
they don't wanna
one,
hear that.
Yahweh.
Exactly.
They don't want to hear
Yeah.
that.
They don't.
You understand what I'm saying? Now that you talking to them, now God, we need you to touch them right now,
Right.
in the name of Jesus Christ.
Right.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
what can we do?
Yeah.
You know, how can we help each other?
Exactly.
How can I help you with this? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like real conversations, like we having right now.
Exactly.
So y'all free.
I'm free indeed.
We
Yeah.
indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Do y'all got anything like we talked about the steps, we talked about your experience, you know, like encourage the people, y'all.
Yeah. I would just implore black
You
men.
better say implore. You better say implore.
I would implore black men to go out there and seek help. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, when I was going through mine, I wasn't certain that I could afford the sessions of counseling. So I reached out to my best friend and Ken Warrior. They definitely helped me through. So we don't always have to have the load on us. I mean, strong people need help too. So black men, get some help because if you haven't felt it, you will. Everything is not going to be easy in life, so you're going to have to come up and just figure some things out. And seeking help, you know, it's not an issue. It's no. I will say this though, in the last few months, and I don't know why, but I have seen a lot of people on Facebook going to therapy. Have you seen that too?
Yeah.
Like they're taking pictures of the therapist's office, and I mean, I'm happy for that. I'm glad, and it's our people. It's our people.
That's good. Encourage the people, Lizzie.
I would say anybody that's, you know, feeling depressed, like I said before, I know you may feel like this is it, like there's nothing else, but I promise, like, you have a purpose. Like, God put you on this earth for a reason. Even though it may not feel like it right now, you really have to, even though it might not sound good, but you got to pick yourself up.
Right.
Like, sometimes you might be all that you have, and God, of course, but, like, you have to make the steps to want to feel better. I mean, journal. Like, I'm a physical person. Like, if you need to write down what's bothering you and burn it, let it go. Like, if it's bothering you, think about it, definitely digest it, make it known how you're feeling, and then in 24 hours, you got to let it go. Like, in order to get to the next step, you have to, like, every day is going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy. Like, I didn't get to where I am now in a week or even a month.
Exactly.
You gotta endure the
years.
process.
Like, yeah, everybody, it's about the process, and everybody's process is different. So just keep going would be my advice. Whatever you got to do, just keep going.
Keep going.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. We got a lot of people chiming in. Gail said a honest relationship, a true and honest relationship with God is the key to overcome all issues.
So true.
And I 100% agree with
So
that. And that's
true.
what we were really saying, like that honest relationship with God. Not that, and I hate to say it like this, but it's just the way I feel it. Not the churchy,
Yeah.
the churchiness of
Yeah.
it. You know, the quickening and all of that
Right.
stuff. That's all good. I'm not knocking it.
Right.
But that honest relationship with
Yeah.
God,
Absolutely.
that honest relationship with God, like that, you know, like we said, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know, we're in this thing. We're in covenant. And I learned about covenant about 3 months ago. Like, covenant is like that promise, that agreement that you have between you and God. Like, so when I said the Lord, we say it in church and it sounds good. When I promise the Lord, I'll serve him till I die. I promised him I'll serve him till I die. You just made a promise to him.
Yeah.
You just made a covenant with him.
You got to be careful what you
You
say.
gotta be
What
careful.
you say.
Serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. If I die, let me die. And then when the opposition comes, now we
Right.
gotta walk that out.
Yep.
We gotta walk out that relationship. Like, if I die, let me die in the army of the Lord. You know what you're saying?
Right.
Hey, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not there yet. I ain't there yet.
No, yeah.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, like,
She was so serious. I'm not saying that.
No, like I'm very intentional about the conversations I have with God,
So,
because
that's good.
if you ask for it, He will do it. Like, or if you say something, He will make it come to pass.
Be intentional.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be intentional. Be careful what you speak.
I know. I'd be like, Lord, give me patience. And then here come Kate
Here it
jumping
is.
off the
Here it
couch.
is. Man, you pray for patience
Yeah.
if you want to.
Never did that either. Never prayed for
Listen,
patience.
I prayed
No.
for it one time.
Never again.
But apparently
That
I
was
have
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Do y'all got anything? Y'all got any questions? Anything? Do y'all have anything tuning in? Do y'all have anything that y'all want to ask either Mike or Elizabeth? I say Lizzie.
Yeah.
That she used to be Baby Lizzie from the Trap.
Not the trap.
She's been
Real
converted.
ones know. Real ones
She's
know.
been converted.
I'm changed.
She's always gonna be Baby Lizzie to me. When you 45, it's still gonna be Baby Lizzie because that's my baby. But do y'all have any questions or anything that y'all want to say to Elizabeth or Mike? Too Tall,
It's me, baby.
my best friend. Anything that y'all have for them? I hope and pray that y'all got something out of this.
I do too.
Because listen, that's what it's all about, y'all. It's about building the kingdom, and this is a way to build the kingdom.
Absolutely.
It's not always in a church. The church is in us, yes. And we do need people. Let me put this in there. Y'all go to church somewhere. I'm not knocking
Yes.
that. Y'all find you a church that you can get some word and praise God, worship God, but go to church somewhere because we need that fellowship
We do.
with other believers.
Yeah.
We do.
We need that. That's where you generate strength. That's where you get the word. You get that impartation. So y'all go to church somewhere. I'm not knocking that. I need to say that. I'm not knocking it. Go to church somewhere. Find you a good, solid church that loves God.
Absolutely.
And that you can get that good word and that keep you
Absolutely.
every day of the week.
And I would also say to the backsliders as well, come back. Come back to church.
Yeah.
Why still room at the cross?
Yeah.
Because time is running out.
Yeah. We really, y'all, and we ain't going to go all the way there, but we closer to the end than we were 30 years ago when Grandma and them was like, Jesus is coming back.
Definitely.
We are closer to his return than we even know. And I think the pandemic was sent to shift us, to throw us off course. You know, churches are still not, people are still not coming back like they should.
Yeah.
But y'all, don't be deceived.
Yeah.
Don't let the enemy deceive you to think that you don't need God.
Yeah.
You need God.
Yes.
And we need to be connected to a church.
Right.
We need to be connected to God's people. We need that word. So don't get it twisted. If you're going through depression and now you see yourself like, I'm in depression right now, or I was in it, don't be ashamed of it.
Right.
Pray first.
Number one.
Seek God. Ask God for healing. Ask God for deliverance. Understand, like she said, that you have to go through a process. Get you some counseling. Talk to you some strong believers. Surround yourself with positive people that can help you.
That's it right
that
there.
can help you.
That's
Positive
very
people.
important.
Positive people.
And you might got to cut some people
You
loose
might
as
have to
well.
cut some people loose.
Yep.
Even if it's for a season. You might have to let some people go that's constantly speaking that negativity or constantly. Y'all ever been around people and you like, I was around them and they brought out another side of me.
Yeah.
No, like seriously,
yeah. Woo.
like that other side that you've been suppressing, or because we still human. You know what I mean?
I'm like, dang, Mike, where you come
Where
from?
you come from?
I ain't
Like
seen
that middle name,
side
your
in
pay
a
come
while.
out. Your pay will
The
come
New
out.
Yorker come out.
That New Yorker come out in a minute.
Whoo. Sometimes when we talking, I hear the accent still. Especially when you mad.
I'm a Virginian. I'm a Martinsvillian now. I'm from Money Under My Version. Hey, no playing. But get connected to your local church. I want to encourage that. Y'all don't let the enemy trick you into believing that you don't need to go to church.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build a honest relationship with God. Get to know him for yourself.
That's important.
Read that Bible. For real. Read it. If you don't have a lot of understanding, like, let's get together and talk about it.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be in a, in the four walls of the church.
Right.
Hey,
exactly.
let's do some phone conferences, some FaceTime, some Zooms. For those of you that don't have iPhones, God bless you. You are dividing the kingdom.
Exactly.
You are
Say it again.
Android users, y'all. I'm just playing,
but I also will say, this is not in a church form, so this is reaching people that doesn't go to church,
right?
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
So that's helping as well.
Absolutely. James' cousin said we need a part 2.
Oh, amen. That's all
We
right.
can do it.
Come on, part 2.
We can do it. Do y'all have anything else? Lizzie, I thought I seen your mom. She sent hearts.
Yep. Hey, Mom.
Anything else? Jamar, do you have anything you want to say? Come over real quick and say something to the people.
See
Let people
you
see
and your beautiful bride.
Let you know, and then we'll let y'all go. Y'all, this is Jamar.
This is
and
the
we're an hour and
ideal
10
couple.
minutes in. We're gonna let Jamar say a few words, and we're gonna let y'all go. My goal is to Kenneth said Android rules. Let's go. Wonderful message. Lizzie, your mom said she's proud. Ministry, yes, ministry beyond the four walls. Huh? Your dad's on. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in, for real. Y'all share this. Let me give my little plug, and then I'll give it to Jamar. Y'all share this. My goal is to get YouTube jumping. We got a lot of people on Facebook. I'm going primarily here, but eventually we want to go on YouTube so that way we can get the views that we need and get it out there. So y'all share it. Share the YouTube link, share the Facebook page. Y'all
Have to
watch
subscribe
it.
too, right?
Subscribe to my page, Destination Freedom with Shazzy Yapay. And let's be great for the kingdom, y'all. Let's be great for the kingdom. When we have Jamar Jones, this is Elizabeth's husband. Just something to see her healing. Just help us out a little bit.
I definitely, like she said, she pretty much told you guys, like, in the beginning, we went through some stuff, and it was pretty difficult because I didn't understand where she was coming from. Like, I had never, up until the point, it's funny because before we met each other, she dealt with all of that. I had never dealt with depression. And right at the time where we became involved, I got hit with depression. I had things, like I lost my brother. He committed suicide in January of 2018. And it just seemed like Mike was saying, like, once something happens, it's like the floodgates open.
Yes,
and it got to the point where, like, I lost my brother. I almost got kicked out of school on their technicalities. And it was just one thing after another, after another, after another. And so for me to finally be able to begin to deal with some things in myself, it allowed me to see what a portion of what she might have went through. And I'm not the type of person where I open up to people easily.
That's me. That's
no matter how close we are, I'm not gonna, like Mike was saying, like, I don't want to be a burden to you.
Right.
I feel like I gotta carry the weight of my world, your world, they world, and keep everybody pushing.
Come closer to the mic.
So that was a real important thing for us, especially in our relationship. Like, I had to get to a place where I was at a low to see what she was going through, to help me understand her better. And because she had went through that, it was nothing but God. Like, she helped me through it because I didn't know how to deal with it. I was just gonna sit in my room, be by myself, not talk to anybody. And so it was truly just a blessing. And one of the things I just agree with wholeheartedly is that we as men have to open up more. Like, it's necessary. The farce has been too long that we have to be so strong and take on every single little thing, and it's not the truth. And that's been one of the most beautiful things about our relationship. And I told my groomsmen at my bachelor party, you know, we supposed to be having fun. I'm having heart to heart with them. But I'm telling them, like, yo, like, one of the biggest things for me is we can be watching a movie on TV, and if something touch me, I'm gonna start crying. And Liz be looking at me like I'm crazy. I was like, yo, that's that day.
Only if it's Grey's Anatomy.
But I think it's important that you find somebody or that you find people in your life that you can be vulnerable with, whether you're man or woman, because that's what's really going to help you heal. You can't heal trying to put on a happy face and fake the funk. Like,
that's good.
You can't get through it like that. You have to actually let it out, cry it out, scream it out, do whatever it is you need to do to get through it. And I promise you, you'll see that light on the other side of that tunnel again.
Good.
That was
That's so
awesome.
good.
Thank you, Jamar.
Man, thank you.
Thank
you
y'all.
for asking him to say something.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. Nene, you got something to say? Okay, so thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Y'all
Thank you
helped
for
me
doing
so
this.
much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
10 out of 10.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is it, y'all.
Thank you so much.
We've done it. Thank y'all again for tuning in to Destination Freedom with Shazia Pay. My next episode is going to be on July 31st at 7 o'clock. And it's going to be somewhere along the lines is I have daddy issues. And this is for male, and female, men and women. We're going to talk candidly. I'm going to be by myself. We'll talk freely. I want y'all to talk back to me. Share my post. Share my YouTube. Join my channel. Join my group. Y'all, clap it up. Send some hearts for these beautiful people here that's with me.
Love you, Martinsville.
Yeah, Mike. Hey, plug. 276 Field Day is going to be on July the 30th.
Get them tickets, please.
Listen, the deadline is this Saturday.
23rd.
The 23rd.
Right.
Get your tickets because you're not going to get it at the door.
Not going to get them.
We're not fighting at this. We're going to have a good time.
We will, though, but we not.
Y'all come out. Mike is putting this event together. He wanted to do something for the community. So y'all come and support. Tickets are $10.
$10.
$10. We'll put it up, so you'll know where to get your tickets.
Thank you, sister.
Give us the location.
Fisher Farm Park in Ridgeway, Virginia.
All right. So y'all check that out. Have a good time. Have some good fun. We got some stuff lined up, I believe.
It's going to be so fun.
Thank y'all again for being my guests.
The newlyweds.
I
love them.
2 weeks and 2-3 days.
They are good for
Thank y'all for tuning in with Destination Freedom with Shazia Pay. We're signing off. Y'all have a good night. Thank you again.
Bye.
God bless.